questions.
Absolutely. Take your time. I'm ready for your questions, so just ask whenever you're set, and I'll be here to respond.
Hello everyone. Today we have a discussion with ChatGPT, and we'll ask some questions from ChatGPT. Hello ChatGPT, are you ready? I want to have some questions on the topic how to build a strong personal brand online.
Yes, absolutely. I'm ready. Go ahead and ask your questions about building a strong personal brand online, and I'll do my best to give you detailed and helpful answers.
Okay, my question is what is a personal brand and why is it important in today's digital world?
That's a great question. A personal brand is basically the unique combination of skills, experiences, values, and personality that you consistently communicate online. It's important today because the digital world is how many people discover and connect with you. A strong personal brand helps you stand out, build trust, and open up new opportunities, whether for your career, business, or personal connections.
Okay, and how can you define your unique identity or niche online?
To define your unique identity or niche, start by reflecting on what you're truly passionate about and what skills you bring to the table. Think about the problems you solve or the audiences you want to reach, then narrow your focus. Don't try to be everything to everyone. Once you identify that niche, consistently share content that reflects your passion and expertise so that people begin to recognize you for it.
Okay, what role does consistency play in building a personal brand?
Consistency is absolutely crucial because it keeps you visible and builds trust over time. When you consistently share content, engage with your audience, and stay true to your message, people start recognizing you and associating your name with a particular value or expertise. Without consistency, even great content can get lost. So, a steady, reliable presence is key.
Okay, now my next question is what social media platforms are best for building a personal brand and why?
The best platform really depends on your audience and content style. For example, LinkedIn is fantastic for professional branding, especially if you're focused on business or thought leadership. Instagram and TikTok are great for visual storytelling and reaching younger audiences. Twitter or X is perfect for quick engagement and sharing ideas. Ultimately, choose the platform where your target audience spends time and where you feel most comfortable expressing yourself.
And how can storytelling help in strengthening your online presence?
Storytelling is powerful because it humanizes your brand and creates an emotional connection with your audience. When you share personal anecdotes, challenges, or successes, people relate to you as a real person, not just a brand. Stories make your content memorable, help you stand out, and give people a reason to keep coming back to hear more.
And what type of content should you create?
You should create content that aligns with your expertise and passion, while also addressing your audience's interests and needs. That might include educational posts, behind the scenes looks, personal stories, or practical tips. Mix up formats like videos, blogs, podcasts, or infographics so you keep your audience engaged and offer them value in different
And
ways.
how often should we post to maintain visibility and engagement?
The ideal frequency depends on the platform and your audience, but generally aim for a consistent schedule. For instance, on Instagram or LinkedIn, 3 to 5 times a week is often a sweet spot, while on Twitter, you can post more frequently, sometimes daily. The key is to remain regular so your audience knows exactly when to expect your content and you stay top of mind.
And how can we use visuals, image videos to enhance our brand identity?
Visuals are really powerful because they give your brand a personality and make it memorable. Use consistent colors, fonts, and styles across all your posts so that people recognize you instantly. For example, use branded templates or graphics and make sure videos are well lit and aligned with your brand's tone. This consistency builds trust and recognition over time, making your brand stand out.
And what are the common mistakes people make while building a personal brand?
One common mistake is being inconsistent, either with the frequency of posting or with the brand message, so the audience gets confused. Another mistake is not knowing the target audience, so the content doesn't resonate. Also, many people neglect engagement, just posting without interacting with followers. Finally, some people try to mimic others too closely, losing their own voice. Avoiding these pitfalls helps you build a genuine, strong personal brand.
Okay, my next question is What are the common mistakes people make while building a personal brand?
Of course. So, as I mentioned, some common mistakes include being inconsistent with your posting or messaging, not having a clear target audience, neglecting to engage with your followers, and failing to differentiate yourself from others. When you avoid these pitfalls and stay true to yourself, your personal brand grows stronger.
And what is the role of networking that play in personal branding?
Networking plays a really big role because it helps you expand your reach and connect with like minded people. When you engage with others in your field through comments, collaborations, or events, you not only build relationships, but also boost your credibility. These connections can lead to opportunities, partnerships, and a stronger, more trusted presence in your industry.
How can engagement with your audience improve your brand value?
Engagement is key because it builds trust and loyalty. When you respond to comments, answer questions, or have conversations, your audience feels heard and valued. This personal connection makes people more likely to trust you, share your content, and recommend you to others. In short, it turns passive followers into an active, supportive community, which strengthens your brand.
And how can we handle negative feedback or criticism online?
Handling negative feedback requires staying calm and professional. First, acknowledge the person's concerns without getting defensive. If possible, offer a solution or clarify your perspective. Take the conversation offline if it gets too heated. Also, reflect on valid criticism. Sometimes it's a chance to improve. By being gracious and consistent, you preserve your credibility and show you value growth.
And how can we measure the success of our personal brand?
You can measure the success of your personal brand by looking at both qualitative and quantitative metrics. Quantitatively, track engagement, likes, comments, shares, follower growth, website traffic, and lead generation. Qualitatively, pay attention to how your audience perceives you. Are they sharing positive comments, recommending you, or engaging deeply with your message? Regularly reviewing both sets of data helps you adjust and grow your brand effectively.
And how can we stand out in a crowded digital space?
To stand out, focus on your authenticity. Be uniquely yourself and highlight what only you bring to the table. Also, offer real value, whether through expert insights, storytelling, or a unique perspective. Engage genuinely with your audience and use high quality visuals and content. By being consistent, providing value, and staying true to your brand, you'll cut through the noise.
And how does personal branding help in career or business growth?
Personal branding helps you stand out in a competitive market by making you recognizable and trusted. In your career, a strong personal brand can open doors to new job opportunities, promotions, or speaking engagements. For a business, it builds trust with clients, attracts partnerships, and positions you as a go to authority. Ultimately, it gives you more leverage and credibility in your professional life.
And what habits should we develop to maintain a strong online brand?
To maintain a strong online brand, you should develop habits like regular content creation, posting consistently and with purpose. Engage daily with your audience, reply to comments, ask questions, and foster conversations. Stay updated with trends in your field so your content stays relevant. And finally, self reflect. Regularly assess what's working, what needs adjustment, and stay aligned with your core values.
And finally, what advice would you give to beginners starting their personal branding journey?
I'd say start with clarity. Know who you are, what you stand for, and who you want to reach. Be patient. Personal branding takes time, so stay consistent and don't be afraid to experiment. Seek feedback, stay authentic, and remember that every small step you take builds towards a bigger presence.
Thank you very much, LGBT. It was a very nice conversation. Your answers were very good. I enjoyed the session. Thank you all. Thank you very much for the audience also who listened to this talk.